Building a portfolio with Fidelity Basket Portfolios is kind of like making a sandwich. It's as simple as picking your stocks and ETFs, sort of like your meats and other topics, and managing it as one big, juicy investment. Now that's pretty good. Learn more at fidelity.com/baskets. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Are negative Google reviews hurting your business? Don't let unfair feedback cost you customers. At Webamax, we specialize in removing false, misleading, and damaging reviews so your online reputation stays strong. Our expert team works quickly and legally to clean up your digital presence, helping you rebuild trust. Visit us on the web at www.gowebamax.com. That's GOWEBIMAX.com, or text us for a free quote at 856-840-8343. Don't let bad reviews define you. Get immediate help from Webamax.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Vertuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
This episode is brought to you by Abercrombie. Build your fits of the day with Abercrombie's newest denim drop. Here's where to start. Abercrombie's 90s straight jean goes with any shirt from tees to sweater polos. Super versatile. Their loose and baggy jeans are more trend forward, so you can grab those and go out with your friends. Abercrombie's denim fits come in a range of washes. Build your looks around Abercrombie denim. Shop online or in store.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley, Thad Bell, Robert Russert, Kerry Robinson, and David Greenwald, all here in the studio. I love this full lineup. The season is starting. The season's here. They're just jumping right into it. Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. First 4 games. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but 2 of them aren't real.
Why aren't they not real?
Yeah, which 2?
You're ignoring the Champions Cup?
Yes.
Thad hates Austin FC.
Actually, I do.
Because they fired Josh Wolf, sporting legend Josh Wolf. Thad doesn't count those matches.
He refuses to acknowledge the opening of the MLS season on Saturday.
No, I do hate Austin, but it's not for that. It's because of the owner.
That's fair.
Anthony Precourt, who tried to destroy the Columbus Crew and then basically got a free expansion team.
I'm glad you say that. I was just thinking Matthew McConaughey.
He's like the only good thing about Austin. Well, they now have a guy playing for him that I like, but other than that.
So we're going to talk about the Miami game. We're going to talk about Austin a little bit. But Media Day happened. A new season, fresh start. It's all in the air, Thad. I know you had to be feeling good. Were you buying into this? It's just unlimited possibilities. Burns has been doing a good job. There's a little bit of something to hold on to coming into this new season. Did it feel good at Media Day on Friday?
It did. It's always like good to have spring,
Yes.
warmth, sunshine, this endless possibilities, like you said.
It actually was kind of warm on Friday, too.
No. What?
Oh, no?
No. What?
Comparatively.
Oh.
Compared to what Tuesday will be, sure. No. Robert and I.
Hey, we stood out there the whole time.
We did, and froze our asses off.
I was fine, David. I don't know
Liar.
what your problem was.
Liar.
I was the last one out there. Patrick is like, I can't go in until you do. And I'm like, I'll be out here for a couple more minutes. And I looked at him like, okay, man, I'll come in. So
I really hated that I had to miss it, especially because the swag that they've been giving out has been very good lately. And of course, David shows up into this podcast, shows up in the studio wearing every single item that he was given, including the bag, the hat, everything.
Because you asked for us to steal a bag for you.
And you didn't.
We did not.
I saw no effort. To ask anyone.
That's right.
Cody, we are so privileged that Robo brought ours to us. He was worried we were going to leave without him.
That's true. But I wanted you to see what you were missing out on.
And it's a nice bag.
It
I
is a nice
still
bag.
rock the bag from last year. It's a great bag then. This one might be better. I think it's bigger.
I got a huge thing of Russell Stover's chocolates also.
Really?
Yeah, big old heart box.
How about Herbalife
No.
snacks?
Not this time. Nope.
Oh, those were so good last year. How about what's the drink that they have?
No.
Body armor?
Body Armor.
Nope. No body armor.
Sporting, or like the blue lemonade.
It was the bag. It was a scarf. It was the beanie that he's wearing over there.
The sunglasses
It's a
that I
good
was
beanie.
wearing.
It was
Oh,
a-
the sunglasses. Damn.
It was
The
like
cup.
a
The water
grab bag
bottle.
from Google,
Come
essentially.
on,
Yeah.
I want the
A
sunglasses.
koozie, a frisbee.
Show me the sunglasses. Is there something on them?
No.
Are they branded? They're just
Yeah.
straight up black
Gooder.
sunglasses.
I think the
Okay.
brand is Gooder.
All right, I'll be all right then. I don't need those.
Here,
If
do you
it
want
said
'em?
sporting on them, I would have tried to get them.
Here, do you want them? They've got the Audi logo.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need.
Oh,
that.
you don't like the German cars?
Well, I do, but I don't need to. Yeah, I won't.
You'd look so much cooler with these on right now.
Can I put them on with the?
In moments like this are why we need to have a visual
Oh, there we
component
go.
to this.
Right. Yes.
Just an audio medium is not doing enough.
I felt pretty good putting
you-
those on.
you
Are you
look-
really gonna give these to me?
They're all yours.
For
Really?
the
Thank you, buddy.
audience, everyone needs to know that Cody put the sunglasses on and then crossed his arms and leaned back in a stance.
Yeah. Let's get this visual again.
He
Cody.
he looked resplendent.
I think you're saying I looked cool.
You
That's
did.
what I think it was.
Absolutely.
You gotta put the sunglasses back on, dumbass.
Like a redheaded
I'm
Danny
doing other
Zuko.
things.
like a redheaded Danny Zuko.
Okay, so what else did I miss from Media Day? Oh, we're gonna talk about the interviews you had.
Oh, Cody, I want to know, are you getting a full season credential?
Yeah.
Someone in this room, unfortunately, is not.
Carrie.
Did someone pick mine up for me?
No.
No.
Okay, well, I picked yours up last year. I had it for like half the season for you.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
that's
offer
part
No,
of why I didn't.
Wait a minute.
get
I
new one.
had it.
No, it's
I'm
because
the
you
one who
never
had it.
go.
I know. Well,
gave
no,
it
no,
to you
no,
the
no.
first time you went. halfway
Last
through
year
the
I
season.
wasn't able to go, but I've been previously. But so we got to watch part of training. It was bitterly cold. Mason Toy was out there, like in a t-shirt and shorts, and everybody else was wearing pants.
There's
and
always
coats.
one. There's always one of those guys.
Danson Miller had shorts. Manu didn't have like a hat or anything. So
Yo, he's got a lot of hair though to keep him warm.
Manu's a handsome devil.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
all of you shied away from admitting that.
how tall is he? Like 5'2"?
5'6", 5'5".
Yeah, he did
He
look
looks
pretty
short.
short.
Yeah.
I would agree and then you look at Shopee and you see a little goatee.
Yeah.
It's like has a point at the end.
He does.
Then yes, Manu is the handsome devil.
So Shoppy was not there. We were told that he's not. He wasn't in country on Friday. They expected him on Saturday or so.
He has
or
arrived.
today.
He has arrived,
since,
yep.
'cause
Right.
I've
They
seen some
recorded a video of him.
Right. But everybody else was there, ready to go. Everybody looked pretty decent for how cold it was.
Okay.
When you could figure out
David,
who
how
they
many
were.
goals were scored in training? Do you remember?
I was more concerned about the goals that were missed, and more specifically, we watched them do drills. Basically crossing balls in and doing, playing defense on set pieces and crosses in. I don't think the offense scored a single one.
Well, we were unclear whether they were supposed to score or not.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Did Jake Reed give a little talk, speech, anything like that?
No, you
Little
could
state
have,
of the team.
could have gotten a one-on-one with him, but we did not.
Looked nice in his suit though. He's very tall.
Absolute giant, that man.
And I said something like, "Well, maybe we should have you over on the pod." And I'm like, "I don't know if my microphone goes that high." And I'm like, then I felt bad. I mean, I'm sure he's heard stupid ass tall jokes his entire life. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I just,
What a burden to be like 6'5",
Yeah, life must be so
life's
hard.
got to be so hard to be 6'5" and the CEO of
I would
of
be
a
king of
sports
the world
franchise.
if I was that
Yeah.
tall.
They did the press conference. Press conference was Burns, followed by Vermees, and then we got Manu and DJ9. It was good. I thought Burns was really forthcoming in his presser. Both he and Vermees, interestingly, were very upfront about this being a rebuild. And they're like, a lot of GMs, a lot of teams want to shy away from saying that they're in the middle of a rebuild, but that's what we're doing. And so then when they were talking about expectations for the season, they were like, hey, look, as competitors, we want to win every single game. We want to win every single trophy. But let's be real. We're in the beginning stages of a rebuild. We've got 2 more transfer windows. And so, I thought that was very honest.
Please do go listen to those. All 3 of those are posted on our podcast feed.
Well, I was talking about the presser, which is separate from our
I'm sorry.
awesome podcasts, which we also did.
You sounded so dejected. I'm sorry.
But also go listen to those
Yes,
podcasts.
please go listen to those. David, I want to hear about your discussion with Mike Burns. It is a very good discussion. You jumped in right off the bat. Like, let's get down to it. Tough business question right off the bat.
Yeah, who wants to ask him silly questions
I'm
to waste
with
all of
you.
our time?
I'm with you. I loved the setting the tone. Came right out there. He didn't miss a beat. He was ready for it. He answered the question.
What I thought from both our interview with him and from his presser, he seems to be very, very forthcoming about his philosophy, about where the team's at. There's not a lot of like fluff. There's not a lot of unnecessarily like sunshine pumping. He's just very straightforward about like, here's how I evaluate things. Here's what I think is important. Here's where we're at.
Yes, I feel like I was learning things. I was getting more information about the way this all worked, more so than when you hear a lot of executives or players or coaches talk.
Yeah.
And one thing I love too is when you ask him a question and he doesn't really want to answer it, he tells you, I'm not going to answer it. I mean, it's not like I'm going to throw out there, oh, we're going to always be doing this, or, you know, stuff like, it's just straight. I can't answer that.
But he talked a lot about, you know, they're still working on trying to get guys in and their philosophy on it, which is, you know, as much as the data and the analytics and statistics can tell you certain things, there's a lot of things that they can't tell you. So that you need to see a guy play, but then they really want to meet with somebody. And I thought that was maybe the most telling thing about his philosophy was that he wants to meet a player and make sure that the guys who are here are, I think he said, 2 feet in. And
Vermees hammered that home as well, made that point in talking about things he liked about Mike Burns, that they have a similar philosophy and that he's not just going to go there and watch on the field. He's going to talk to them if possible, the parents, the agents.
And they made that, it was an interesting point when they're talking about DJ, which was that, you know, he'd been a part of a rebuild in LA, coming from a team that was not very good and then ultimately winning a cup. And so being able to sell him on our project to get him to come here because they weren't going to just buy him knowing that he didn't want to be here.
Robert, what'd you learn from talking to Mike Burns?
Well, going back to DJ, he was kind of the one that was very short in his answers and to the point, didn't really have a whole lot to say. But Burns, you know, also talked about, I think it's been mentioned already, but they're still working on a lot of incoming players, a lot of work being done there. So we could see a player coming in the next couple of weeks, so don't be surprised if we do. But they don't want to commit to anything, of course. Yeah. But no, I mean, is this somewhat of, hey, you know, in New England, you know, I didn't do the greatest job, you know, and he really wants to get this right. Did you guys kind of get that feel?
Maybe a little, but you also got to remember he had no investment in New England, too. It's a team that couldn't have cared less about winning, essentially, until Bruce Arena got there.
Well, and he talked about coming here and how he was impressed with how involved ownership was in the hiring process. And he was like very cautious because he's like, I don't want to say it was like too involved, but how like ownership was very involved in getting him on board. And, you know, he did not talk about Robert Kraft, but we all know that Robert Kraft, the owner of New England, couldn't possibly care less. And so there probably is a distinct difference in terms of what the club's willing to spend, how they're willing to invest in the team and the players, and ownership's direct interest in the results.
But even though that's the case, it makes it even more so, I've got to get this right, and I want to get it right. And I feel that he really, you know, he talked about how his family's here, their second child was born here. He's invested in Kansas City.
Yeah. I liked Burns.
Yeah.
You could hear that he has a plan and he knows how to get that plan done. And even if I think he even kind of acknowledged maybe they're not as far along as they would have hoped or something at this point. So even if that is the case, I get the sense that he has a plan and he knows how to get there, and it's just going to take some time. He seems calm about it. He understands where they're at in the process, and like you said, knows what the expectations are or how it's going to adapt to this season and all of that. And yeah, I think I feel good with this guy in charge so far. He seems like he has a plan, knows what to do.
And I know that will be to the irritation of fans, but they're not rushing it. So it's not like, oh, we're going to bring in 10 guys. We're going to bring in guys that we think is right. We're going to do this the right way. We're going to take our time. It's going to take some time, and they're just trying to do the right thing.
Well, an example of that is, we'll go over to Vermees for a little bit, was when they were looking at Manu, they were looking at another guy.
Yep.
It's like, well,
yeah,
the other guy was really the guy we were looking at the most, but then it came back that Manu was more the guy that we wanted.
They went to go look at one guy and then came back with two others, two other guys entirely.
But, one of the things he talked about, he didn't say it directly, but it's, good is the enemy of great, right? Settling for a guy because he's available and being like, yeah, I mean, he's a guy. He's maybe a B-level player, prevents you from getting your A-level guys in.
And he very specifically referenced that when we were talking about U22s, the U22 initiative. We're not just going to get a guy. If we're going to get one, we want him.
Because we've done that in the past, is what I heard in that sentence.
Who would that be? Oh, that's weird. I don't know who he's talking about. The other thing that both he and Vermees talked about was that we're not settled on whether or not we're doing 2 DPs for U22s or whether we're going to go 3 and 3.
Well, it was interesting that Vermees stated that, if this under 22 signing isn't going to contribute right away, he'd rather have a DP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
A regular DP.
I think it's just a lot of it depends on what you have around the rest of the team. If you can wait for a guy to develop, then you maybe go one way. If you got to have somebody who needs to contribute in the next year, then you go this way. So it's, you know what I think the most disappointing thing I think about the Burns interview? I never got him to say excellent.
Yeah, I noticed. He responded to the memes though. You did ask him about the memes and if he saw all of them. Guy's not on social media. I guess I respect that.
I think a lot of guys like that, I mean, older people, I mean, they're not young. Their age-ish, and a lot of them aren't on social media. They have somebody else tell them about it.
In that Vermees discussion, I liked he described all 3 of the new players, like what he had seen about them so far. And it seems like he really does like Manu Garcia. Like, seems like he believes he is that guy that is going to get all the passes in to Joveljic, who he also seemed like he actually believed in.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, we'll have to see. But the short term, they look positive. It's just we still have to see.
I mean, the benefit of Joveljic is he's already been in the league, and he's a proven commodity and a proven goal scorer, right? They talked about one of the challenges when you bring somebody in from outside is they have to adapt to the league. They have to figure out the physicality, the travel, playing a game in Houston in July versus playing a game in Minnesota in, October. But Joveljic has been here, and he's proven he can do it. And
I can't believe that signing. I can't believe they pulled that off. It seems like he just fell out of the sky into Sporting KC's lap.
That's pretty cool.
Well, Burns made the point that
for $4 million.
without the league's new rule, he probably wouldn't be in MLS anymore, and that's been the case with a number of players.
But it also was they had already had conversations about players, so there was some groundwork laid before this popped up. Because again, it wouldn't have popped up if they couldn't have found a buyer for Polito.
And I think they were aware that the Galaxy needed to empty the roster out a little bit too. So,
Cody, what did you think of the sales pitch that the 3 of us made to Vermees to try and get jobs?
Yeah, I liked his responses to it as well.
I think we saw your resumes, but we decided not to interview you.
Yeah, but then he reconsidered it at the end. He said he'd go back and take a second.
I saw those come through my desk, actually. No, that was I encourage everyone to go listen to it. That one's a bit longer than the other 2 interviews. It was about 30 minutes or so. But Vermees is a good interview, man. He always has been, even if you don't like him. Robert, in my opinion, even kind of talked shit on him right at the very beginning.
It was not meant that way at all.
Right to his face. He's just like, man, aren't you really happy you're still in that job? Everyone thought you were going to be fired. That's how I took that.
To clarify, Vermees says he's only the coach. And he shook David's hand. And I said, and thankful to be, meaning he's thankful he's only the coach, not that he's still the coach.
And grateful to be there or something is how you took it.
Grateful for only having to do that job. Okay. And Shelby did also talk about DJ9, about why he's good to have him with the team.
Yeah, he said he knows how to win MLS Cup. We don't, because he won it last year and we didn't.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he likes Dan. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit insulting. You finally grew up or something like that. It's like, oh, Thad.
Yeah, maybe it was just taking offense to Thad's comment.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said it that way.
He undeniably looks like a Dan, so
he does.
He didn't seem to mind the Dan comment. I don't know that he loved the you finally grew up thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But when we were like, you're Dan Shallowy now, he was like, yeah, okay. He didn't seem to bristle at it too much.
Okay. Wonderful picture Thad took though, of the 2.
Yeah, that was a very happy pick. you guys taking a selfie in front of Daniel's mustache.
I think he was
that
talking
one.
about the picture.
Oh, I was talking about the one with
Tommy
Eric,
and-
Tommy, and Dan.
Oh,
But yes.
The elevators have the giant pictures of players. One has Jake Davis and one has Dan the Man Shallowy in it. So I just got a pic of of David and Robert standing next to a very large stash.
so what else did I miss? Any notable outfits? Who had good fashion? Anything funny happen?
They were all wearing the kit, the primary kit.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
What about sneakers? They all had different shoes on, right? I made a video about that last year.
Why weren't you there?
I had to work. What do you want? It's the middle of the day. Working hours. Carrie, were you there? You weren't there, were you?
No.
Yeah, see?
I took the day off.
Normal working adults. I know. I couldn't. I just started a new job. I don't have any
Right.
available time to do that. I've not accrued any. That sucked, though. I really did want to go. And I'm going to figure out how over the course of this season to steal that backpack from David. Even though he was really nice and gave me these glasses, I'm still going to try that.
I will slowly give you different things out of the bag. Every week I'll give you something new.
The scarf, I always, like...
Oh, the scarf's good.
I know it's like I get excited to get a scarf, but I just have a box of scarves that I've never, I get that scarf, I put it in there. The
Yeah.
last scarves I bought, I just bought them and put them in there.
You don't have a scarf roll?
I don't have any room for it.
Wow.
When's the last time you wore a sporting scarf?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even remember.
I don't do this to get gifts or to get food or any of that stuff. It's nice bonus, but don't do it for that.
The scarf feels a little
But-
forced.
But because I give like the scarves and stuff like that to my family, and they can wear them. But I have not wore a team scarf for I don't know how long because I can't.
Right. Well, when
It
you're
feels like we're forcing it because we think that this is a cool European soccer-y thing. And so it's like we're forcing ourselves to like, oh, we like these scarves and it's a cool thing to do.
No, I love the scarves.
I do. I
Okay.
just can't wear them.
Right.
Alright,
When
it's my unpopular
to
opinion.
to give context to what Thad's saying, when you are at the game as media, Thad's on the field taking photos. If you're up in the press box, you're not supposed to wear club branded apparel.
Right.
You're not a fan. You're supposed to be, an impartial media observer.
Yeah.
Robert and I, when we are sitting in our season ticket seats, or when I still had my seats, I would wear scarves when I wasn't in the press box to every single game. Because there's summer scarves, there's winter scarves, and like I think it's cool. I have a ton of them. I just haven't built my scarf wall yet.
Okay,
But
I was wrong.
Yeah.
For me, it was forcing it just because it felt it's like you're supposed to do this as a soccer fan. No, I don't care about scarves.
It's a
Well, my revelation was more of, damn, these things are warm. How come I haven't been wearing these for years? It really helps.
I might need a scarf that doesn't have a team logo on it.
Yeah, see, I don't mind a good scarf as an accessory, but I don't need to be holding it up at a soccer game.
there's going to be cool ones for Tuesday. They've got like ones that are branded specifically for the match.
Okay. Got to get that Messi memento.
Yeah. Again, that's not my thing, but that's cool for people who do that. That's a good collectible.
Well, they're also fun to trade. Like a few years ago when we played Omaha in the Open Cup, like I met up with the guy that we did the podcast with, and we traded. So like I have a Union Omaha scarf, but it's a cool memory of this time when like we played them and I got to interact with another fan, and it was like a fun experience.
Yeah, it was.
I've got 2 Philadelphia Union scarves because they lost them in a bet with me that I didn't care to place in the first place. So
David, you mentioned that in that interview with Vermees and even got to talk to him about the Open Cup stuff. Get to hear his opinion on all that. It's a very good interview. I appreciate that. Well done to each of you.
Thank you.
it was there was enough seriousness balanced with a little bit of fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the content I want to do around here at the Journal. All right. We're going to take a break and then come back and actually talk about this Miami game.
¿Dónde están los $5 millones que me robaste?
Gloria tendrá que encontrar el dinero. Su vida y la de su hijo dependen de ello.
Hay que acorralar a la viuda.
¡Tengo mucho miedo, mamá!
El peor de los caminos será el único posible.
A mí no me importa ir a la cárcel con tal de salvar a mi hijo.
En la nueva superserie de Telemundo.
Esta mujer es clave. Empieza la cacería.
La Jefa. Martes 18 de febrero a las 10:09 Centro por Telemundo.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Can Messi do it on a rainy, cold Tuesday across from a furniture mart?
Snowy.
Yeah, snowy.
If it was only cold
Ain't
and
gonna be no
rainy,
rain.
Oh, it was rain at one point, so now it is just supposed to be snow. It's not
Yeah.
just uber cold.
it's not
1
going to
to
be warm
3
enough to rain.
1 to 3 inches of snow.
So
A high of 5, a low of -3.
a high of 5, man. This outdoes MLS Cup,
Yeah.
For
the
sure.
beer frosty game.
They did say the other day that the field felt good. So, I mean, maybe they're better at keeping it warm now.
Well, they've got a heating system under it.
They were supposed to before, too.
Oh,
Right.
it's 10
Didn't
years
help so much.
later. Technology changes in 10 years.
It does.
Well, we might not even find out if Messi can do it on a cold, snowy Tuesday across from a furniture mart. Miami is no longer training. They were supposed to be training at Children's Mercy Park, and they're not going to do that.
Well, there was a training that was open to media for 15 minutes, but that's been taken off the list. So I don't know. They're not training there, but
Oh, so it's not that they're not training there. It's that you couldn't watch the training there.
right. So they may be training there. They may be going somewhere else. They may be saying, screw it, we'll do it live.
I don't think that that's what that email said.
They did just play Friday night against Orlando City, 2-2 draw. But
See, this just says Inter Miami will not train at Children's Mercy Park as previously scheduled.
As
not
previously
that it won't,
scheduled.
Not that it won't be open.
Well, it also just doesn't mean it's not going to happen either. Just it's not happening as previously scheduled.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means specifically. So I try to be.
Is it
accurate.
possible they're not training?
I think it is. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
And when were they supposed to have arrived? Today? Sunday? I guess you can't. How many trainings could you possibly fit in anyway? Just take one day of training off and then play the game Tuesday?
Well, I mean, if they played on Friday, Saturday would be a recovery session.
Right.
Then you've got a travel day built in,
Sunday.
and then you're going to have probably
workout
pretty
one
light,
day.
cardio work and
Yeah.
whatever. And I don't know, maybe go outside and kick a bunch of boulders around, given that the ball's going to be frozen.
Right.
Typically, a team would practice on Sunday with that schedule, Friday game, recovery on Saturday, a light practice before flying on Sunday, and then be in market. Well, actually, sometimes they would do it on Monday. So maybe they're just flying it. They're going to do a training in somewhere else and then fly in on Monday. So
Is Messi going to play, Thad? Does anyone here actually think he's going to play?
In these conditions, I think it's highly questionable. Yeah.
I'm going to say yes, only because I don't want him to play, and I don't get what I want much these days. So I'm going to guess.
Is that because you're scared of how good of a player he is and you want Sporting KC to win? That's why you don't want his quality out on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I
Well,
wanted
is
to hear
that-
you acknowledge that.
That he's like one of the greatest players of all time? Yeah, I've never denied that.
I am disappointed that this is probably not going to be a good game just because of the cold, right? I mean, do I want to see Messi play again? Yes, but that's not why I do this. I would rather Sporting win. If he's out there, I would rather Jansen Miller take him out at the knees.
It'd be funny.
The more David thought about that, the more excited he got.
I know.
It had a build up.
That was almost like a Mr. Burns kind of maniacal laugh there.
He thought the words sounded funny, then he pictured it in his head and thought it was even funnier.
That was a lot of fun.
Can we steal the excellent audio and not get in trouble for it?
No, we're going to get sued. Please don't do that.
Fox seems like they'd be litigious.
Yeah. I'll just put in my best old man voice and do it.
So, David, what'd you say? He said he played 75 on Friday. Is that what you said?
I didn't. But he and Suarez both played,
They played
the bulk of the
something
match.
on Friday, right? Yeah. I think it was like 75 minutes.
So they played in a friendly. I mean, it makes
Against
sense.
Orlando.
Yep.
But again, if it wasn't for 5 degrees being the high that day, I don't think there would be a doubt that they would play at least portion of the game. But because it matters to them. I mean, they don't want to go out and like not play and then lose.
Well, could it be they're looking at Sporting's preseason results and just the status of the roster and saying, we don't need to train. We'll be fine.
Well, here's the thing.
Javier Mascherano is looking past Sporting KC, huh?
The other part of this, it's a two-leg like matchup, right? So all they have to do is go out and play like stout defense and fight for like a 0-0 draw or
that's
a
what
1-0
Miami has to do.
and like a 1-0 result, and then we go down to Miami where it's not freezing, and then they're gonna batter us, 4-0.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty much exactly how it's gonna go.
It's how pretty much I would game plan it if I was their coach. Like,
yeah, I mean, Messi may not even get on the plane, right?
Yeah, I mean, why bother?
Yeah.
In this set of circumstances, why bother?
yeah, you still gotta have somebody play though. So I mean, how many people do you leave off that plane? I don't know.
Suarez, Messi, Busquets, and Alba.
Anybody over the age of 35?
I think Alba's too key to the way they play. I think he'll be on the plane.
Yeah. Again, I wish it was warm. I wish the game mattered a little bit more in that regard, and we could have a good game whether or not. But mostly too, just so fans could be out there and enjoying that game. Because how do you enjoy that game? Even if you pull out a 1-1 draw in this game, how do you enjoy that game? It's 5 degrees.
Well, and one of the points Vermees made when we were interviewing him was that these games are so early in the season.
I was going to bring up this exact same point. Good job, David.
And then I asked him if he preferred the current tournament format or if he liked it when they had the group stage and everything. And he preferred the group stage, but the downside to the group stage was MLS teams were in the middle of their season during the group stage, but then the knockout rounds were in the preseason. Like, we have not, as CONCACAF, figured out a good format, and it's because nobody's on the same schedule.
We'll change.
What he also said was that however this game goes on Tuesday, a month from now, the team is going to look very different. Whatever they're doing well then or however they look then, a month after that, the team is going to look very different.
Like each of the next month, the month after that, because they are going to be very different. You're going to have a chance to get Manu integrated, DJ9 more integrated. You're going to have Choppy being in and being able to see what he can really do.
Okay, well then with that in mind, what are you expecting the lineup to look like on Tuesday, Thad? Any surprises?
I do expect DJ9 to play at least portion of the game.
Okay.
I don't know about Manu. Vermees is traditionally not throwing guys in that fast, but
unless it's mid-season.
Unless it's necessary. I mean, you've had
Like
some
Eric
guys
Tommy.
come in.
Eric Tommy played right after he arrived.
Right. But that's Eric Tommy, man. He could pretty much, it's like the
German machine.
Also like Johnny Russell. I mean, he'll if you called him up today and said we're signing you, start play tomorrow, he'll be there. Right? That kind of guy.
Man, I miss Johnny.
Yeah, and it sounded like he wanted to. I'm really not looking forward to this MLS reality thing that's going to come out. What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. I'm really not looking forward to that because what it's going to be is Johnny wanting to stay here and be on our team and us kicking him out, and I'm not going to like this.
So going back to the lineup thing, Peter did say that everybody's healthy, everybody was in training, but we were watching that defensive clearing drill. Basically, is what it was. And what do we have? Davis at right back, Volater and Miller in the center backs, and Leibold at left back. Right, that's what we saw.
Yeah, because Fernandez and Rosero both have like minor knocks.
Right.
They were both out there though.
Yeah, right.
There was one player who wasn't out there.
Shappy.
Well, one player who was currently at least.
That's not what you said.
Are we keeping it a secret for some reason?
I was seeing if they noticed.
Oh, okay.
No. Kyrie?
Was it
Kyrie?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
I think he got hurt.
Or he's being dealt.
It was tough to tell, like, some of the players, given like how bundled up they were. There were guys in hats and
sure,
the things over their face, and you're kind of trying to, like, Robert didn't know what William, upon first reference, which one he was.
We figured it out.
We figured it out.
Yeah,
but no,
I had to zoom in, like take the picture, zoom in on my camera. Okay, that's who that is.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Rosero starts, maybe even Fernandez. But what we saw was Miller and Volder, which is a little scary.
I would
midfield,
think that those are the two center backs, right? Rosero and Joaquin.
You would think so.
I mean, those will be the best 11 starters, but I don't know that
They haven't played or practiced a ton.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be geared up to go on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right. And at midfield, if Davis is at right back, we're going to see Basong, Radia, and what do you think, Tommy?
I hope we see Manu.
Starting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand he hasn't had time to like fully integrate into the team and gel and everything, but he also came from mid-season. Like he was in the middle of his season, so he is in informed condition, ready to play. And there, Peter talked about like how he has a creative spark that we need,
Right.
and so I would expect to see Tommy start on the wing,
Right.
and I think the front three is Shallowy, DJ, Tommy,
Right.
with Manu, Radia, and I mean, I'm hoping Jake in the midfield.
Right, me too.
But who else is playing right back?
Yeah.
Unless they sign Jursic, which I think they want to at least free up one international slot before they would sign Jursic. They have an international slot, but I think there's a couple guys who are going to be getting their green cards or whatever the right term is here shortly. They just haven't finished.
So the first J in his name is soft, and then the second one you give it a J.
know.
It's Jan Jursic. That's how you're saying it.
I don't know.
I'm asking.
So Cody, I think because we are all in with DJ, I think from now on in 2025, all J's will be soft.
Okay, that's fair. Out of respect to our number 9,
Yeah.
all J's are soft J's,
Yeah.
So they'll be all in on the project.
and we're going jogging after this.
That's right.
So if Garcia does not start, Tommy's in midfield. Who's on that wing?
I would think. Oh, I thought Tommy would be on the wing and Memo would probably be in the midfield, is my guess.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about Memo.
Yeah. He didn't really show up much in preseason.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were running out a lot of guys just to get them experience.
Right.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Jacob Bartlett will be out there.
I'm yumping for Yoy to get excited about this season.
Yiminy.
Carrie, what about you? You've been quiet over there. Are you going to the game on Tuesday? You can go see Messi?
I am going to go to the game. I'm going to be there.
Braving the cold.
Yeah.
Is this what you're going to wear?
How many layers?
Do it?
Also, her
At least
car is
5.
okay. She got her car working again. I don't know if we ever gave that update.
CC is okay. That's the car's name. Yeah, I'm going to the game. Although there is supposed to be snow. My big concern is not the cold. It is driving back from the game with snow.
Yeah.
I live downtown. I don't really want to risk it. So there could be a good chance that 30 minutes before the match starts, I decide not to go.
I thought you were going to say you were going to leave early. And I was like, well, it might be a good decision at that point to leave 30 minutes early.
We'll see.
Do they have like a crew to come around and like pry people off of seats, maybe?
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be good.
Pick up the loose toes like sitting around underneath the chairs.
I'm regrettably going to miss it. It sucks that Messi is in Kansas City and I'm not going to be there, but
What's more important
I've
to you?
made a commitment to my soccer team, my rec soccer team, and I can't bail on them.
So what Cody,
Even if they'd
Yeah,
be
they don't
better
want to miss
without
their
me.
leading scorer. I mean, come on.
yeah, what Cody doesn't want to tell you is that this is how he's getting informed for the media game.
I'm going to reach new heights at this year's media game because I will have actually kicked a ball.
Good for you.
You're gonna shred a hamstring.
Work on your cellies.
That's a good idea. I should have one of those prepared. A funny one.
You can make a yoke out of
Is he
it.
like assuming he's going to score? Is that what I'm hearing?
I did get my email situated. I got back on the correct email list. I know everyone was worried about why Cody was not getting the media emails.
Very worried.
That has been resolved. So hopefully I will attend the media game this year.
I was gonna say yeah, we're all really concerned about it, but yeah, I actually did have a couple conversations about it. So had to
Okay.
make sure Cody's getting his emails.
Have we wrapped up the Miami Messi first game Tuesday discussion? Robert, how are you feeling about this? We haven't really just given our overall thoughts on this. Are they going to get rocked by Miami?
Well, preseason doesn't really mean a whole lot, but with the state of this roster right now and players haven't been incorporated and new acquisitions,
Yes,
It
we're
does
gonna
not
get
look good. It's not terribly encouraging over here. That's my thought.
And weren't we just saying earlier how we were positive? It's spring. It's all sunshine. Oh no, yeah, we're gonna get rocked. Like, okay, I'm gonna go way out on a limb and say 1-0 Sporting.
Ooh.
Okay, but what's the return leg?
Before we get
That's not
destroyed.
this pod. That's the next pod.
Didn't we do that the first year in the Champions League? We played Cruz Azul. We went to their house and I think got a 1-1 draw.
Do you remember who the goal scorer was?
They were like the best team in Mexico at the time. And then we came back here and they absolutely slaughtered us.
Okay, well, here's a fun trivia question. Who scored for Sporting against Cruz Azul?
Do you know this answer or are you
Yeah.
looking it up?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I feel like
What
it
year
was.
is this?
I feel like it was notable.
2019? No.
No, like 14 or 15,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah, because it was after we
Wrong
won.
context.
Yeah, we had to qualify for it.
Does it sound like stupid, like Sunny Saad?
Yeah, or there's somebody goofy.
Sasanovic.
Nope.
Benny
Oh,
Fiala.
that was a really good guess. That
Well, he scores in playoffs mostly.
right? Yeah, that was an elimination game, so I thought that might have counted to his.
So yeah, leg 1, 1-0, Sporting Kansas City. Leg 2, 5-1 Cruz Azul. They won 5-2 on aggregate.
and it
But-
was away and then home, right? Like
But
we
can
we did that to
anybody
them,
tell
right?
me who our goal scorer was?
Oh, we've already made like 4 years.
Claudio
I mean, yeah,
Taylor.
this is a decade ago.
And in the 17th minute, it was a player who was a defender
Aurelian Collin.
who started their career in the
That'd be-
attack and moved backwards.
Oh,
Zusi.
Graham Zusi.
No.
Oh.
He was still
He was still a
attacker at
winger.
that point.
Yeah, he was still a winger at that point.
Somebody moved back, like Chance Myers.
Did not ever play forward
I
for the
didn't-
first
I
team,
didn't think so.
but grew up playing in the attack in the academy and moved back.
Who was opposite Chance Myers on those back
homegrown
lines?
player.
Oh, Sinovic.
Homegrown
Ellis.
Kevin Ellis.
Kevin Ellis.
Kevin
Great
Ellis.
one.
Was that the header where he was like up there looking like he's sitting in midair?
I remember that header.
I don't
That's so
remember
strange.
I don't remember the goal itself. I thought he hit like a rocket from outside the box, but I don't remember the
Okay,
goal
no, that-
specifically.
Well, that header I'm thinking of would have been here, so that would not.
He
have
did
been-
not score many goals, but that header for some reason stuck out. He was such a short player,
What a callback.
and it was
He's
like,
like
just kind of a
5'10".
No,
that's
he's
short.
not.
No, he's not 5'10". He was.
He's
he was-
listed at 5'10".
He looks like 5'4".
Maybe that's why
He's
I'm thinking that.
Probably more like 5'7".
He scored the header in the same like legs out hurdle that Saquon Barkley did for that in his hurdle this season when he jumped over a player backwards. It was like feet up in the air.
Let's not mention him.
He
It's
looked
been
like
a
he was.
week.
He looked like he was sitting in a chair with his legs out on an ottoman.
Yeah, yeah.
I have that picture somewhere.
And that you're looking at me like I'm crazy for that Saquon Barkley hurdle. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
It was like one of the most amazing plays in the NFL in the last.
Thad, did you know the Super Bowl
decade.
was last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm watching the play right
Commercial
now.
sucked.
Benny Tanaga, ball goes out wide. Ellis is in the box, cuts in,
Yes, it's that.
and snuck one in.
Oh,
he was-
so it wasn't the header.
It wasn't a header,
Okay.
but they're wearing the state line kits. Uri's chasing him around. Beasler, God,
Oh
I
man,
miss
the good old days, dude.
man. Is that CJ Sapong, Ike,
Oh man,
Jimmy Madronda?
CJ Sapong out there.
Zusi doesn't have a beard. Oh my God.
Okay. Anyway, we got way off the Miami game. Any final thoughts on that?
1-0 Sporting.
1-0 Sporting. Okay. Speaking of,
And did we
predictions like that-
clarify that the first game against Cruz Azul was at home, our home?
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Robert. Speaking of predictions, I'm gonna make these guys and lady do some predictions for the year. Whether it's like I don't want boring. Are we gonna make the playoffs or records or I want strange. I want strange predictions that I'm gonna get from them. We'll be right back.
You know what's smart? Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Meet Factor, your loophole in the laws of mealtime. Chef-crafted meals delivered with a tap, ready in just 2 minutes. You know what's even smarter? Treating yourself without cheating your goals. Factor is dietitian approved, chef prepared, and you plated. Pretty smart, huh? Refresh your routine and eat smart with Factor. Learn more at factormeals.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Austin FC is on Saturday. First MLS game of the season. David, give me something about Austin. What's going on at Austin FC right now?
New coach, Nico Estevez, got fired from Dallas.
Great name.
Nico got fired from Dallas. But
Sounds like a pop star.
Austin fired Sporting legend Josh Wolf. So Estevez moved from Dallas to Austin.
Emilio.
Okay. They released Matt Hedges, Alexander Ring, Ethan Finley.
So they're rebuilding
Giassi
too.
Zardes.
I'm hearing a rebuild.
Here's the big one. Sebastian Driussi, who led their team in scoring, was transferred to River Plate, I think.
I think it was Argentina, yeah.
Yeah,
something like
but
that.
so last year he scored 8 goals. But
That's it?
yeah, they did not have a good year last year. They missed the playoffs.
But he's a very good player. So.
But they also Zardes and Driussi. Driussi scored 8. Yader Obrian scored 8. Zardes scored 4. Diego Rubio scored 4. Alexander Ring scored 3. So that's their top 5 scorers. They moved on from 3 of those guys.
So Diego Rubio, former player, and
Yes, he will score a goal against us almost
Yes,
assuredly.
he always does.
Almost assuredly.
But he's not the only former friend.
No. So incoming transfers, they have Brendan Vasquez, not a friend, but former MLS player, played for Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's a strong player. Too.
They brought in some other guys, one of which for $12 million. This is Mirto Uzuni, who is Albanian.
Man, they spent $12 million on an Albanian. I didn't
From-
even hear about
Playing
that.
in La Liga 2.
Playing in La Liga, yeah.
Wow.
You could buy
But
half the country for that much.
but the one which country? Albania or Spain?
I think that was an
Albania.
Albanian.
Okay. But notably, the friend you're looking for is stained glass legend, and my favorite person, Ilya Sanchez.
Ilya is returning. Ilya is looking more like Jesus these days.
Well,
he
he-
doesn't have the cornrows anymore.
He's
Thank
ready
goodness.
to be in the stained glass. Like he's
He's
trying
already-
to make his presence.
He's already taking form
That
Yeah.
fits, doesn't it?
of how we will represent
We
him
need that-
in the stained
And
glass.
that choir, that angel choir.
Okay, that's good. We get to see old Ilya again. Or wait, no. Where's the game at? Is it here? Or is it away?
It's
It's
a
away.
Weston.
They will be here at some point.
Can I just? I started a new job. Can I use that? I've been a little unplugged.
Sure.
Yeah, that's made the difference.
They're going to have a really interesting team. It's unclear how good Austin will be. They were very bad last year. They moved on from their by far best player. But if I were to name any of these midfielders, I don't know that you would recognize many of these names or any of these names. But Ilya, Daniel Pereira, who's a Generation Adidas player, Basard Sabovic, who is new, coming from Sweden,
Sabovic.
Nicolas Dubasarski, who is an Argentine U22 player,
I like that they're really challenging you with these names. Also.
Micah Burton, and Owen Wolf.
Okay.
But, they've got some new guys in the midfield. It's unclear.
Owen Wolf. Any relation?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
it's
Josh
John.
Wolf's kid.
Yeah.
One
And
was,
they just brought him in.
No,
They
he's
fired
been there
Daffy
for
Jones.
years.
But
He's been there
that's-
for years.
been there.
I
That is
thought
their
he.
midfield.
Okay. I thought you were describing.
No, but that's their midfield. And so my point is, we just had a conversation about will Manu play? Has he had time to gel with his teammates, get, bed into the system?
Now, I do think he'll play on that game.
But they're going to have 3 new starters in their midfield. They've new guys up top. Like, this is a team that is also going through a big rebuild, brand new coach, new system.
How much does that got to suck that your dad got fired and you're still there?
Imagine how awkward that is in the locker room.
Yeah, your dad sucked.
Everyone's probably talking crap on him, and he's like, "It's my dad."
That do you have the other players, his teammates, chanting at him in the locker room? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I'm
Your
sure
dad
that's happening.
sucks.
Yeah. Mm.
Did we mention who one of their assistant coaches is, by the way? Davey
Arnaud.
Okay. Just make it
Still there.
Yeah, did not get fired.
Right. Josh got fired. Davey stayed.
I don't know. I feel better about that game than I do the Miami game.
Right. Definitely.
They're going to be in their brand new, probably primary kit, the Verde with the stripes.
And Sporting KC will hopefully be in the new one. We actually haven't even really talked about that. We got the full look at it. We got to see it on the players with the shorts. Thad, you're always reserving judgment until that day comes. What do you think of the 1 KC jersey?
It looks way better on a human, especially a athletic type person.
It does, yeah.
And not like laid out, so you really get the accentuated little female Lego figure lines. That is part of the Adidas template, not Sporting's fault, but no, it looks. I mean, actually, I think it doesn't look bad. It's. I'm not like in the it looks like it's one of the top kits for MLS this year.
CBS thought so. CBS Sports called it perfect.
Yeah.
So they like tradition more than others do.
One had it as perfect and one had it as the worst, or almost worst. It's like it's somewhere in between. It's good. Last year's kit was better.
Yeah, I've landed on it being just absolutely fine. It works. Yeah. I think I appreciate the effort to incorporate the state line.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
It looks better with the texture of the kit. The authentic one has like lines going down it all the way.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks better on the players with the whole outfit and in front of a very cool blue background that they designed. That was a nice little set they were all sitting in front of.
I'll say I like it more than its predecessor, Hoops 3.0. It's just more interesting, more stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I do understand, a lot of people think it's Tire Treads 2.0.
The comparison to the Tire Treads is real.
Great.
It's not that bad by a long shot.
Even the club refers to it as the Tire Treads. Like, I think Daniel referred to it as the Tire Treads.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of you guys mentioned that first.
I did, yeah.
Him, yeah.
I called it roadkill.
But he didn't fight us on it. He wasn't like, no, that's not cool.
With that nice setup that they had with all the players, there was a comment on one of our articles that was showing that.
Oh, yeah.
From Wet Water, and they did say if you look closely, you can see everyone's mustache has the state line in it. As some people are calling this kit also like the comb kit.
Oh, that's like fits pretty good.
I wonder if I might go try to Photoshop a picture of Dan the Man and have his mustache do that.
I'm not sure he liked the Dan the Man nickname, if I'm being honest. You'll have to go listen to that interview and make your own judgment on that.
Yeah,
actually,
or Thad just awkwardly broached the subject.
He
just
got an
maybe
invite.
awkwardly brought it up.
You got an invite to.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Actually, I mentioned Dan the Man to him before he ever came over to the pod, and he was good with it.
Oh, okay. Good.
He goes, no, he liked that. But
and
I think it was the growing up part that he may have, like, okay.
But how long have you known Daniel Shallowy, Thad?
Since he was 17.
Yeah.
And he's what, 27?
27 now.
Yeah. That's the weird thing. And I thought that was an interesting part of our conversation was like him coming to the point where like he's no longer the kid. He's now he's the longest tenured player on the roster.
And that he's spent over 1/3 of his life with Sporting KC.
I mean, he's basically been that for
by
a
choice.
couple years at least. I mean, that he's the longest one, and he's talked about taking leadership role over the last couple of years. I mean, that's why he was so happy to get an armband for a couple of games, 1 or 2 games. So
My family hosted exchange into the same program that he did. So I'm always like, look at what he does, and you're not here yet. Like, you're not playing soccer for this city.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we got an invite to play and learn Padel at
and to record
La
a podcast
Casa
there.
del Padel.
Yeah,
La Casa del Padel.
I think we will do this, and you guys will play, and I'll call it with one of the players.
There you
No,
go.
I
That's a
think
good idea.
I think it's
I
going to
like
be
that
Cody
idea.
and I versus Thad and Robert.
Oh, that's fair.
That would not be fair.
Robert and Carrie.
That would not be fair. Any team I'm on, it wouldn't be fair to the other.
Oh,
being honest.
Christ.
Jeez.
I might be working on shoulder surgery before that.
I need to challenge Cody in racquetball as
He
well.
did say in that he also pronounced it paddle at one point. In the middle of your conversation, he said we could play paddle. So anyone saying it like that, it seems it is apparently fair game.
Robert.
He didn't have the Spanish influence around him to.
Well, also on that note, Carrie, thank you for saying that. The respect to Shallowy, the Hungarians' ability to speak with a little Latin flair. Like, he nailed it on La Casa del Padel. He's pretty good. Who would have thought an Eastern European?
I mean, a guy who's played 10 years of soccer at a club that worships Barcelona.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's been around those guys often enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Robert challenged him to a game of racquetball. Well, that was weird.
I'm a pretty good racquetball
Yeah,
player.
specifically racquetball, while in the middle of a conversation about his new
Well, he
business
said
in
that
Padel.
Padel includes ingredients of squash,
And then you were like-
racquetball, and
You're like, yeah, okay, so let's play racquetball.
Right,
Not
that's
your
my
new,
game.
Not your new business.
Robert's eyes got real big, and you could just tell in his mind, he's like, I'm going to wreck this dude in racquetball.
I'm going to make him cry. I'm going to make him hurt. Damn it, dude.
I want to hear some predictions for the season. This is it. The season is officially here. People are going to be listening to this show the day of the game on Tuesday or just before the game on Saturday against Austin. So we need to talk about that aspect of this. What can they expect this season? Thad, give me something strange, a weird thing that will happen this year.
I don't know if it'll be this weird, but DJ9 will not be our top scorer.
Okay, I like that. Well, maybe not.
That would be bad.
I like the idea you're going for there. Okay, will not be. So who might be the top scorer then? That would leave open maybe Shallowy has a resurgence.
Maybe with new teammates. And I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the 2 preseason games we really got to watch, he seemed to be on the right a lot. So I wonder if Vermees is going from the wingers that cut in and shoot to the wingers who go wide and cross in to DJ9. So that may totally blow out what I just said, but that's okay. I don't mind being wrong for a good reason.
Okay, I like that. Again, I think I would prefer if he is our leading scorer, but
You asked for something weird.
yeah,
I went for
that would be
something-
weird. That would be weird if that happened, I think. David, what do you got?
Oh, man. Something weird. I think Shallowy will keep the mustache through April and then shave it off.
Because things are going poorly?
Because I think he will just, they always have to change up the look every so often.
He's going to get tired of it.
Yeah, he'll get.
No, I think he's going to get too much crap from opposing players talking shit.
I
That's
think
what's
the
gonna do it.
mustache will just keep getting longer, and it'll start curling up.
Oh, he's going to look like Hercule
And we're
Poirot.
going to get like a Waluigi.
Or like start drooping down, a Fu Manchu.
Or
kind
the
of like,
Fu Manchu, maybe.
Is he the new Benny?
What are all these mustaches going to do in that freezing cold temperature Tuesday night? That'll be interesting. We need a photographer there to get all those pics.
Hey, if you are willing to reimburse me for when my camera freezes and breaks, then you can pay me for it.
Maybe he'll come out and then at halftime it'll be gone.
It might just break off. Snot freezes on there, it just knocks off half of it.
He gets whacked in the face and the mustache goes with it.
His isn't connected to his nose, right? His is lower on the lower half of that lip. Down, it's connected to his lip.
Is that
but
what you
not
were
his-
trying to ask?
No, I was
No,
telling
he was-
David to stop breathing into the mic. Someone is
Are you sure
breathing
it's not? It's
very
Thad.
loudly.
It's always Thad.
I looked over when I heard the sound, and Thad was 2 feet from the mic, and you were making out with it. So.
Okay,
Maybe he's hearing things
ask,
again.
Ask them their predictions. Leave me alone.
All right, I've got one for you, Cody.
Oh, okay.
We will lose less than 15 games to hamstring injuries this year. That's my prediction. Less than 15
Okay.
games.
How many would we have lost this past year?
I don't know, but one year it was like 50. Seemingly, anyway.
So that would be 5 players missing 3 games for a hamstring injury. I think
Hey,
we
it's
can
Sporting
beat
Kansas
that.
City.
I
I think
was
we
gonna
can do
say. I think we can get under that mark.
I wish you would have thought about this beforehand, because I might have come up with some others like over under on number of right backs used, 3. Over under on the number of center backs used, 7.
Or more specifically,
Thad bringing me content ideas while recording. Classic Tales Old as Time.
or more specifically, who's going to score more own goals, Rosero or Fernandez? I'm going with Rosero.
I get nothing.
Um,
Shappy will lead the team in cards.
Followed by Basong right afterwards.
Vermees did acknowledge, I don't remember the exact words he used for Shapi, but he was tough and rugged, actually, I think is exactly what he said about him.
Over or under 2 fights this season?
Under. Well, real fight?
Yeah,
or
what do
like,
we call
what do you
how
call
or
a
like
fight?
a soccer
Yeah.
fight.
Is like a fight an actual punch thrown? Because we call them almost fights. 90% of what happens in Major League Soccer is an almost fight.
Yeah, there's hardly ever an actual fist throwing, not like a good hockey game.
Now, almost fights, we're gonna have 3 or 4. I would put that over under at 3. Because things
I'll
aren't gonna
put
be
it
going
over.
great. We're gonna be frustrated. We got some new guys to the league, known shithousery people on the team.
Ariel is going to show up somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever see like those videos pop up that like moments in games that like are almost fights and all that stuff? The one with Basong and Areola showed up in one of those the other day, and I was like going through. I know that guy.
Classic.
All right, I'm going to say Manu is going to be dark horse for newcomer of the year.
Okay.
He's not going to be the prime candidate for it, but he's going to be a dark horse candidate.
Do
Isn't
we
he
have
gonna
a
be
lot
one of
riding
2?
on him?
Yeah.
Feels like there's a lot riding on him.
Well, I mean, Burns made the point. You have to hit on your DPs. So, like, to Robert's point, there's only 2 guys who should be up for newcomer of the year. It should be Manu and it should be
I'm
DJ.
talking about in MLS.
Oh.
Yes.
What? Okay, you
All right
gave
there,
me
buddy.
shit for breathing in the microphone, which I didn't do. And you, what did you just do?
I kicked a chair back here.
This is the least professional I've
Now
ever
he
seen
can't
you.
play Tuesday night. Now his team's going to suffer.
At least it wasn't a bucket.
Okay.
But yes,
Do we get one from
newcomer of the
Carrie?
year in MLS. Yes.
I was going to say Ryan Shayway is going to get more minutes than we expect.
I hope.
Oh, because then that means
10?
something bad happens.
Well, not
Dear
necessarily.
Thad, 10?
Someone commented, someone offered, was that Shallowy offered up Pulse Camp as a guy who he has seen step up in this preseason,
Yeah.
leaning into this role. Maybe we should expect a big season from Pulse Camp. Carrie says he's going to get hurt. She's predicting he's
No,
going to
okay,
get
here's
hurt.
Or
the
be
thing.
bad.
I
Or be
was
bad.
Mean.
I currently have an article which should be coming out in a few days about John Pulskamp and
Okay.
how we're entering the new Pulskamp era.
Okay.
But I think that Ryan Shayway I think maybe he'll get Pulskamp will need to get rested for a game or 2, just with the mix of how often games come, and Ryan Shayway will step up, and I think we'll be surprised.
Keepers do so much running around, standing there for 90 minutes.
Okay, well,
They need a rest after 4 games in a row.
I mean, Tuesday night, I'd hate to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You don't think 17-year-old Court Camp will get some time?
Do you think they put
That'd
hand
be fun to
warmers in
see
their
'em.
gloves?
Oh, I'm sure
Yes.
they do.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Is that performance enhancing?
No.
they did it for Matt Turner in Minnesota during that
mean-
the World Cup qualifying match.
If I could put hand warmers in my gloves, then I'm gonna be perfectly fine.
What
I
about your
will.
toes.
I'll put them in there too.
I asked Shallowy about that. He said that they don't do that. They don't put like feet warmers in
That'd be
their
distracting.
boots. I will go out on a limb for a crazy prediction and say that there will be at least one Jack Court Camp custom kit seen at Children's Mercy Park this year.
It's because you will be wearing it. It'll be you the one that's wearing it.
Probably.
Or his family.
I think they're going to be at more SKC2 games.
You don't think they want a picture of him just like sitting on the bench at his first?
I don't think he's going to be sitting on the bench very often.
I think he will be on the bench more often than you think, but
You think he'll be on the bench more than Shayway?
I don't. I mean, it's really hard to predict because we don't even know like who's going to be playing for SKC2 at this point. There's only 4 players, and I think they both will get time playing down there, and they will both get time sitting on the bench. So
Jack Courtcamp sounds like a journalist in the 1950s. How many games are you gonna win this year? See,
he's got the little fedora with a little
Extra,
press
extra.
tag in it.
Yeah.
and
He's
a
just
pencil.
chewing on a
pencil sticking
cigar.
out of it.
Just chewing on a cigar.
Cody, that was impressive, man.
Should we change Shayway's last name to have camp in it as well?
Ooh, okay.
Shay Camp?
Shay Camp?
Shay Camp.
Campway?
Shay the Way Camp.
Post camp, Shay Camp.
I like that. Where are we putting that in there? Campway? All right.
Cody,
Season
what's
is
your
beginning.
what's your prediction?
That was a campy joke.
Ah, crap. I thought I was getting out of that. I don't know that I have one.
This was your bit.
I'm the host. You guys are the panelists here.
This is your bit.
We came up with them on the spot.
We didn't have that time to be prepared. You just put us on the spot, man.
No, I didn't. If you didn't, honestly, you should have all been able to surmise this before anyway. This is the last pod. The season is starting. I should have a prediction. I should come up with content for Cody. Cody likes when we have content.
You wanted a strange prediction, not a normal prediction.
I'm stalling. Who has a better mustache, Tommy or Shallowy?
Shallowy. Okay, in the comments, kcsoccerjournal.com, please help Cody come up with a strange prediction. The more wrong the answer, the harder I'll laugh.
All right, I'm going to throw out one here. Do we think Shallowy will be on the roster at the end of the season if he doesn't have a good one? How about that?
Yes.
Ooh. Even if he doesn't have a good season?
Yes.
At the end of the year, yes. I'm not talking about next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you asked that question wrong. It's if he will be on the roster
Well, that's what
next
I mean.
seant
What I mean
following.
is, yeah, that's right. That's what I meant.
How many goals did he have this last year?
I'm betting
5,
4.
6.
I'm betting 4.
His contract runs through 2026. So will we release him a year early? Is that what you're asking?
I
Maybe
just
Shivas
see
wants
his
someone.
time here ending. If he doesn't have a good season.
He can be the second half of the Polito deal.
He scored 2 goals, 5 assists last year.
No.
3 goals, 4 assists.
Okay, I think if he does not score 4 goals, then I think there's a real possibility of not. If we can get him off.
If he's out there and playing regular minutes and ends this season with 4 goals, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
If he loses his spot and doesn't play all that often because someone took it from him and he only got 4 goals, that's maybe a little different. But
If Manu and DJ9 are half of what we think they should be, then DS10 should get at least 5 goals.
He overperformed his expected goals and his expected assists, for whatever that's worth. The team sucked last year. Everybody was bad. It's
Nope,
not just
yeah.
Shallowy.
Nobody was feeding him, and he couldn't feed a whole lot of people because Polito wasn't in the box, which apparently isn't for Chivas either.
Okay, so I don't know what stats Dave is looking at. I'm looking at the official stats on sportingkansascity.com. 2 goals for Shallowy's expected goals is 3.25.
I'm looking at Football Ref, and it's 3 goals, 4 assists. So that's all comps because Robert likes to pretend like the other competitions don't exist or count.
Well, how can he have
Open
5
Cup.
assists in regular season but 4 in all competitions?
FB ref doesn't count secondary assists.
Okay.
They don't do
there we
hockey
go.
assists. And then they calculated 2.7 XG, 3.5 expected assists, and he had 3 and 4.
Well, you know
and
the saying about stats. Lies.
I would hate to go back and dwell on the past, but I did watch that Alan Plato goal that he had. I do not think he scores that with Sporting. I think he tries to lay it off to the person behind him.
he's only scored 1 goal, right?
I think so.
Thad said he was the lowest ranked player last night or over this weekend. He was the lowest ranked player.
Yeah, yesterday for Chivas, he was the lowest. Well, he was the lowest ranked player on all of the Foot Mob stats in that entire game for Chivas against whoever the hell it was.
All right, my strange prediction is that Logan and Denbei leads defenders in scoring.
That's not so strange.
Well,
Agreed.
Rosero. Probably Rosero would be the clubhouse leader.
That's what everyone
Would s-
guessed last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's why this would be a strange prediction.
he did not put a whole lot of headers in that we thought he was going to.
I know.
My prediction about Cody's prediction is that, because he was not at training, is that he will fall in love with Mason Toy's calves, and Logan and Denbei will be replaced in Cody's heart
Oh, there's no way.
with Mason Toy.
Toy's got some nice calves, huh? All right.
Does.
All right, he'll fit right in then.
How many red cards are we getting this season with a young, scrappy team?
Jake Davis is getting at least 1.
Shoppy, 2,
Shoppy's got 1 coming at some point.
maybe 3.
I don't know.
Straight red or
What's
yellows?
the average? How many red cards has Sporting KC averaged the last 5 years, do you think, David? Like 2?
Probably more.
I've never thought about this stat before.
I feel like last year we were pretty mellow.
Because there's always a silly one, like when Johnny Russell went in for that slide tackle and went over the ball.
Yeah.
And then he got a red that shouldn't have been a red.
Or Cam Duke gets 2 yellows in 5 minutes.
Rosero got a red last year, I'm pretty sure.
Jake got 2 yellows pretty shortly.
Agata.
Oh, Agata did get sent off. Huh. All right, maybe we do get more red cards a year than I would have thought.
I think just a lot depends on how the games are going, you know?
Okay, last year
3.
we had 3. 77 yellows and 3 reds.
Okay,
That's not bad.
Let's get ready to get out of here. David, Sporting Kansas City making the playoffs this year.
Yes. 9th.
Carrie, Sporting KC making the playoffs?
Yes. 7th.
They'll sneak in.
Thad.
6th.
Cody.
Yes, they're making the playoffs. I can't believe there's 5 of us here, and every single one of us said this team, where we don't really know that much about a bunch of the players. They're all new. It's all a rebuild, but they're gonna make the playoffs.
Because everyone makes playoffs.
The West is in a rebuild.
Yeah,
Okay.
Galaxy had a fire sale. Austin sucks.
Okay, all right.
St. Louis
You guys
sucks.
convinced me.
San Diego's doing whatever they're doing.
Does San
Whatever
Diego
the
have
hell's
a
going on
team?
there.
Like, do they have players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a coach?
For a while, they had more players than Sporting did.
Do they have? They're actually going to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're gonna do it with Kevin
Got
De
some good
Bruyne.
players.
I thought they were going to be like Miami, and it was just like a concept that we were just going to have to suffer through for 10 years.
Oh, it's
Do they have
happening, and I think they're gonna get Kevin De Bruyne.
Do they have a real name?
FC, of course.
The Sockers? Are they the San Diego Sockers?
No, it is just San Diego FC, isn't it?
What's their nickname going to be?
The Sandies.
What's the opposite of loyal?
San Diego. I screwed up a few days ago, and because the Comets pod I do on the Blue Turf, we recorded about the game that was upcoming against the Sockers, and I put it out there, and I mentioned the San Diego Wave like 7 times in the write-ups and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, there are too many teams in San Diego.
Thad, do you want to leave us with something prophetic?
The Current has teal kits now.
That's not prophetic. We did a whole show about Sporting KC. Don't even mention the Current, which is a mistake of ours. And then the
That's why
last
I
word
brought
of it.
That's why I brought it back in, man. I went to their media day, which they gave like 24-hour notice. Thanks. But it was sitting at the Marriott down Crown Center Marriott, the one because it used to be whatever that fell and killed all the people, right?
What happened here? We just really derailed. How did we get to a disaster?
The engineering
the Marriott
catastrophe?
disaster in Kansas City.
My
It
cousin
isn't
was at
every
that,
single.
by the way.
It isn't every single engineering textbook I've ever used.
And I've had relatives that were there but left right before it happened.
My cousin was there, yeah.
But anyway, that was
no
that
trauma
was-
bragging, people.
Okay. To end on something prophetic, Cody will attempt to steal my backpack at a game this year.
Sporting!
The other side don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.